Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to make Irish shortbread cookies. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up and we are celebrating with Irish delicacies here in our kitchen. And today we're going to make Irish shortbread cookies, and we're using this beautiful Kerrygold Irish butter for our cookies, which is absolutely delicious. It's a little expensive, but it really does have a distinct flavor that is different from American butter, so I highly recommend it. And we're going to use cornstarch. Now, cornstarch in the recipe, this is what makes the shortbread so flaky and tender. Cornstarch does not have any gluten in it, and gluten in the all-purpose flour is what makes things hold together like bread. So in order to create that flaky texture, we use cornstarch because it separates those gluten strands from developing so strong, and instead you get a very flaky texture and crumb to the cookie. So we're going to get our mise en place ready. We're going to measure everything out, and then I'll show you how to make it. We have all of our mise en place ready. We're going to get our butter, and now I want you to see it's been out at room temperature long enough so that it is soft. So I see I can squeeze it. Definitely soft enough for me to start making this recipe now. So I'm going to get this in. We're going to paddle it. We're going to start to add our sugar. I've paddled our butter till it's nice and soft, and now we're going to add in our granulated sugar and mix that in. Add in the powdered sugar. We're going to mix that until it's light and fluffy. While that is mixing, I'm going to add our cornstarch, flour, and salt together. Stir that up. There we go. And we're going to mix it just till it comes together. So it's all smooth together. Now just make sure, you see how you have little bits of flour on the edge? Scrape it down so you get all of that incorporated. So I have our 8x8 baking pan, and I've double lined it with parchment paper, alternating direction, so that way when I put the dough in and it bakes, we can pull it out of the pan easily because we're going to cut that. All right, so let's get all of this batter into our baking dish. All right, so I've spread this out nice and evenly, and then what I can do is prick it with a fork to put in those little lines that make it look like shortbread. But I'm going to be cutting these up into very small pieces as a sample, so I'm going to not put in the fork marks, and if I do this as a item for a bake sale or a cookie tray, then I'd put it in. But for this case, I'm just going to put it in like this. And if you notice, the color of the batter is very orange, and that's because of the Irish butter. The Irish butter is more orange and it's very rich, so looking forward to this. Well, it's not often that we have a complete disaster, but I figured I better show you what it looks like because I think I must have mismeasured something. I'm gonna have to go through and double check. Maybe I, see how it's falling apart and flaking so much? Maybe I mismeasured the cornstarch. So, and also, unfortunately, I started teaching a class and completely forgot this was in the oven, and it's obviously overbaked. The only good thing is that it's absolutely delicious and I can eat it as crumbs, but obviously I'm gonna have to do this one again. All right, here is our next batch, and I just want to show you, I made these lines with the fork. So you prick it like this, and then when you cut it, you're gonna cut in between the lines. And this pinprick decoration is typical of Irish shortbread. And what the problem was that I had made a mathematical error. I doubled the butter in our recipe, and that was the accident that happened. That's the end result. So if you ever make this recipe and it turns out looking like that, you know you measured your butter wrong. So anyhow, corrected that, measured and made another batch, and hopefully this time we won't have any problems. I'm going to put it in our 300-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes until it's all ready. For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.